Hey fragrance friends and fanatics, how's the fragrance world? How's the fragrance life? How you doing? Happy to see you today. Today we're going to be talking about a whole new fragrance house, the house of Gavriel Perfumery. They actually reached out to me. I didn't reach out to them, and they wanted me to showcase their fragrances, which is always something that I'm very proud about. Thank you to the brand so much for reaching out to me. But of course, y'all know that I always have my integrity, and I'm always straightforward and honest with y'all. I'm never going to deceive y'all. So the fragrances are what they are, and I'm going to let you know about it. So 100% transparency. I got this from the brand for review. They're a new brand. They only have two fragrances, and this is one of them. This one is actually doesn't have a name. It just has a number. This one is 20810 or 20,810. The notes are pear, citrus, mint, rose, geranium, tonka bean, and ambroxan, Madagascar, bourbon, vanilla, oak moss, vetiver, and atlas cedar. Now, I do have to tell y'all that for these fragrances, even though they do smell very complex and pretty well blended, supposedly they're using super high quality ingredients. To me, they feel definitely designer quality, but maybe a little bit of the higher quality designer quality. I don't think that these are niche quality ingredients, but I could be wrong. I don't know exactly how they're blended. I don't know exactly what ingredients they're using, but overall, to my nose at least, more synthetics are used here, but they're used pretty well. This is a soft, sweet fragrance. It smells a little bit of like almost like a dry amber coming through. There's some sweetness. I think it's the pear. Yes, and the citrus really doesn't punch you off the top, but the pear does come through. The sweetness is nice. The tonka bean to me isn't does come through, but it's more of like a dry white type of tonka bean, and it tries to almost come off and act like a vanilla does without the darkness or the booziness of vanilla. I really don't get that Madagascar bourbon vanilla coming through. Honestly, I really, really don't. There's a really, really nice dry sweetness that almost smells ambery, and it ends up kind of being woody, maybe with the cedar, and that's probably what I'm smelling. But I have smelled real vanilla absolute. If you work in a kitchen or if you've ever been around made it your own concentrate of vanilla, which is very easy. All you have to do is slice or even blend up a bunch of vanilla pods and put it inside alcohol. Close the top, make sure it's sealed, and you'll get an amazing smell and it's something that's beautiful for cooking, or baking, however you want to say it. Overall, this is a nice smell. It's light, slightly green. The pear comes through. The mint doesn't punch me off the top. Y'all know I like mint. I would like there to be more mint, but it ends up just being a little bit woody, a little bit dry, almost a little bit powdery with the tonka and the vanilla, doing this dry, sweet kind of airy kind of quality to the fragrance. The pear is nice. I haven't smelled a lot of fragrances that do this like slightly juicy pear and then like dry, gourmandish qualities to fruit, which I find is a kind of interesting mix of things. But I do have to say that nothing in this fragrance is really crazy enjoyable to me, but it's not unpleasant. I just find it almost kind of feels like a Hugo Boss. If you've ever smelled Hugo Boss bottled or Hugo Boss bottled intense, there's a certain style with those fragrances and how they feel. They're like airy, semi-sweet, almost like semi-sweet syrup kind of almost feeling fragrance to me. That's how the fragrance feels. And that's how these fragrances feel to me, especially this one. It's not unpleasant. It doesn't get too heavy or it doesn't get cloyingly sweet or anything like that. It's just that the fragrance to me feels like a Hugo Boss fragrance. And I have to be honest about that with y'all. That's how it feels, and I don't know why. To my nose, it certainly does remind me of that just a little bit. Overall, this is actually, I'll give you all my final thoughts later in the review, but this was my favorite out of the two, no doubt about it. I like this one a lot better, and one reason I like it better is because of the performance. Now, this one gives me anywhere from 6 to 7 hours. Longevity doesn't project heavily, but it gives me about average projection and average COs, which isn't bad. It projects a lot better than the other one, and I'll be releasing that video too. But this one definitely performs better out of the bunch or out of the twins here, and definitely gets me noticed a little bit more. And I enjoy the smell better, so it smells better and it lasts longer, in my personal opinion. Compliment factor wise, honestly, it did decent. It can be dressed up, it can be dressed down. It does have a little bit of a classy vibe to it, but it is a little bit understated. And I think the projection might even be slightly below average. So you could spray a lot of this on. But we'll talk about the price and the value later on. But honestly, um, this fragrance didn't get me noticed a lot, but when it did get noticed, it has that modern, clean, woody molecule type of vibe, and a little bit of sweetness, and a little bit of that dry, sweet, semi-sweet powderiness. So it did get liked decently, but it wasn't overtly exciting. It wasn't overtly interesting, and it didn't do anything particularly special, but it did a decent job, compliment factor wise. But a lot of people did say that they wished it projected better. It's a nice smell, but if it was richer and deeper, maybe projected a lot more, maybe they could go for this fragrance. They thought that it had, it was a pretty good start from a new brand and that kind of thing. So what are the final thoughts with this fragrance? These are let me double check here. They're 50 mils, so they're 1.7 ounces, which is a decent size, but they're about $60. So is that a terrible price? No, not really. Is it a great value? I wouldn't say either. I believe it's 60. I'd double check on the website. I'll link in the description below. But I don't think that these are fantastic, honestly. I chatted with the owner of the brand a little bit. He does want his positive word to go out about his fragrances. Every new company, every new release, and every new house, especially when they're first starting out, definitely wants somebody to speak very positively about them. If you do want to support an upcoming brand, somebody who's doing his best and his darnest to start a new company, give him your support and your love. But as a fragrance reviewer who's a bit of a fragrance critic, y'all know that I'm very critical of fragrances. Even though I got it for free, I don't think this is amazing. I would prefer, especially on the discounted market, I would get Hugo Boss Bottled Intense Parfum for the money, which you can get that one for close to $30 for 100 mils, which is a much better value on sale. But again, they put a little bit of work, a little bit in artistry, and they're trying to be their own brand and their own thing. And they're not, this isn't discounted. So the original price of the Hugo Boss Bottled Intense Parfum, retail wise, is actually close to $100, but you can find it at a great price. Anyways, it is a little bit interesting. I think that they got a good beginning going on, but y'all know I'm just not crazy about the scent. And this might really sadden the owner of the brand, but I do have to be honest to y'all, my fragrance reviewers, my fragrance viewers, and my fragrance friends. I make this channel for you guys. Even though I get some things for free, I do not make my fragrance content to get free things. That's not why I started my channel. That's not what my channel is about. But I do like to showcase new brands and give them a word. And of course, it's fun to get something new in the mail. Of course, I'm going to be honest with you guys about that. But I'm not crazy about this one. And this guy's, believe it or not, I'm a very generous guy. This one will be going into a giveaway. This one will become a part of the giveaway once I get to 3,000 subscribers or 4,000 followers on Instagram, one or the other. This will be in a giveaway bundle, and look forward to that, guys. But I'll see you next time, everybody. Wear what you love, rock what you got, and give this brand a try if it looks interesting. But I do want to see other reviewers' opinions on them. I hope he does work with some other maybe fragrance reviewers. I hope I didn't sour things for his company, his new upstart of his company. But I do have to have my integrity, and I do have to make my suggestions and my alternatives. So interesting that a kind of composition. Wish it was richer. Wish that it was a little bit longer lasting. I think it's a good start for a fragrance company. So thank y'all for being here. I hope that y'all enjoyed my content here today. I wish you the very best. Stay safe and stay well, everybody. Wear what you love, rock what you got. If you liked my review today, please like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, share the video, and tell a friend. I'll see you next time, everybody. Wear what you love and rock what you got, and have a good one. I'll see everybody. Bye.